Well, ladies and gentlemen, Teo here, back with some more Ever17. If I remember correctly, we were about to go find out what exactly was going on with Tsugumi, because she seems rather out of sorts. And also, she should not be able to walk as well as she is, given the current status of her leg. So, I guess we will see what's up. Hey, Tsugumi, what are you doing here? I pretended to be calm. I thought to proceed gently. I wanted to handle the conversation right. She stood up slowly and looked my way. You looking for something? No, not really. She stepped back as if she were keeping watch over me. I could tell that she was agitated. She hadn't expected to see me. Her gaze didn't fix on anything. Her eyes kept flitting to the pipes behind her. Her gaze, it bothered me. What's behind you? Nothing. There's nothing behind me. Really? I casually tried to angle around so that I could see the pipes behind her. Don't come near me. Don't get close. What? She changed position. She didn't want me to go behind her. Oh. She had taken another step back and knocked something off. Clang, clang, plunk. Along with a small splash of water, several screws or nuts fell into the crevice between ducts. She quietly looked around. Favoring her right leg, she slowly turned. With her back to me, she looked farther back into the room. Wait, her right leg? Wasn't that the one that was injured? Or am I just misremembering? No, I think it was the right leg. Huh, that's weird. Then took a relieved, if amazed, breath. Sorry, with her back to me, she looked farther back into the room, then took a relieved, if amazed, breath. What was going on? Then, pushing me aside, she tried to head out of the room. Move, you're in my way. Hey, Tsugumi? Don't bother me. Dragging her right leg, she tried to leave. Wait! I put my hands on her shoulders, but she shook them right off. Don't you touch me. She glared at me without trying to hide her annoyance. I said you were in my way. Leave me alone. Why are you following me? She spat the words out all at once, but I didn't let up and fired a question back at her. What are you doing here? Are you looking for something? Or are you finishing up some repairs? You won't answer stupid questions, is that it? What are you doing here yourself? I'm free to do what I want, where I want. She was trying to make a wall of words. Listen, searching for a way to reach her. I just came out of basic human decency. It's not like everyone's happy about the way you keep doing things. Because my injured friend suddenly went missing, that's why. Of course I came looking for you. Friend? Her expression grew more and more severe. I didn't ask for you to come. There's no reason for you to be here. I'm not like the others. So don't treat me like one of your gang. Alright, I get it. You're so unbelievably selfish. I thought about pretending to raise my fist, but didn't do it. That is probably a good call. Even if I did, she probably wouldn't flinch. Believe me, I don't want to be friends with someone like you. But we don't have a choice. We all want to get out of here. Don't you want to get out of here as soon as possible? As long as we're in the same boat, we're friends. In Japan, people with the same goal are called friends. 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 Yeah, I feel like something was lost in translation there. There you go again, just saying that. That kind of tired, hypocritical crap makes me sick. Tsugumi has no chill. And one more thing. Weren't you listening to me yesterday? I don't want to escape. So I'm not your friend. I don't care if you're from Germany, America, or Japan. Got it? I am not your friend. So do not talk to me again. Move. I moved aside. Giving me a glance, she moved toward the door, dragging her foot. She was moving awkwardly, still dragging her left foot. Left foot? Left foot? Did I say left foot? Wait, are there like two dimensions and they're like mirrors of each other? That would be super weird. Whoa, wait a second. I yelled with all my might. What? I said don't talk to me. She turned around forcefully. Your foot. What? Your foot. Is it alright? The leg you hurt the other day was your right leg, wasn't it? Her face stiffened. Her eyes flicked away. She averted her gaze. She stood rock still. What was going on? Let me see. I grabbed the hem of her skirt. Hello? And without hesitating, yanked it up. Hello? An immediate brutal slap. Yeah, you totally deserve that one. Tsugumi took off running. The sound of her footfalls grew faint, as did her shadow disappearing down the hallway. What was left was me, stunned. She had hammered my cheek. I might have broken teeth. I might have a nosebleed. She hit me so hard my brain rattled. But I didn't feel any pain. Compound fracture of the right thigh bone. Injuries requiring 40 stitches. And she could run a day later? Welcome back, Takeshi. Sora greeted me as I stepped out of the elevator in his white stock. Thanks. Takeshi, your face is swollen? Yeah, I know. Sora ready to compress for me back in the infirmary. I left the room holding it. It seems that Tsugumi will come back to this floor in a little while, but if we do find her, try not to get mad or yell at her. Huh? For a little while, I think it's best if we let her do as she wants. But why? I pressed the compress to my cheek. It started to hurt right about the time I'd forgotten about it. Don't you think she might be quite nervous right now? She's thinking about things. She's pondering all sorts of things in her heart. Everyone's words will fall on deaf ears. She's not able yet to just listen, of course. You're worried about her injuries, but for a little while, let's leave her alone. If she's in any serious danger, I will let you know right away. So for just a little while, please, Takeshi. Alright. I nodded assent to Sora's earnest request. I went slowly down the stairs of Drittastock. My footsteps echoed quietly. I don't think it's an accident that she came to be here. Sora continued speaking right next to me. Not an accident. I don't know the details. This is the first time for me to encounter a case like hers. I don't have any data for this. But it seems to me that she has her reasons. Reasons that are difficult to explain. I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Like, if you want to explain things to me, go to town, Captain. Because you seem to know more than I do. Something that's hard for others to understand. Something that compelled her to act even if it made her injuries worse. That's what I feel. Wait, this is all speculation? You're useless. What do I even pay you for? Earlier, you was saying the same thing. You was? Yes. That we shouldn't probe. That until she wants to tell us, we shouldn't press for information. I see. Maybe I'd gotten a little too close to her boundaries. I think you're right to, like, informational privacy starts going out the window when people are going to die in very short order as a result of you not telling them things. Like, I don't know what information Tsugumi has, but if it's information related to their situation, I feel like there is a moral impetus on her to divulge that information before it worsens the situation. Or, like, prevents the situation from getting better. Boundaries she didn't want invaded. Whatever feelings and reasons she didn't want us to know about. Was that why I was warned, harassed, and pummeled? If I thought about it that way, it made more sense. No, I think the reason you were pummeled was because you were trying to take her clothes off. Like, could just be me, though. Well, maybe so. Maybe I came down too hard. At last, we reached the 3rd floor. I'd heard from Sora that you and the kid were holed up in the central control room because she wanted to figure something out. She said that Coco and Pee-Pee had gone off somewhere on a walk. Wonder where they went. When I asked Sora that, she put her finger to her lips and smiled. Shall we say individual study time? We were the only ones in the conference room. Study time. Sora turned over the observation of Limu to the automatic lemon control system for a few hours. That would ensure Tsugumi and you some privacy. And give Sora a break, too. So there she sat, in a chair in the conference room looking at the whiteboard. I stood at the whiteboard, dry marker in hand, playing professor. A private lesson, one-on-one. Ooh la la. The reason that we started that was Coco and the kid were giving rave reviews of Yu's speech. What was it like? I asked her, but she wouldn't tell me. Takeshi, do you know? Yeah, but it's not like I have the whole thing memorized. I know. I'll give you a lecture just as good, no, better than Yu's. And that's how it started. The title of my lecture was The Psychology of Love. I was playing to the crowd. But I hadn't decided what I would talk about. Oh my god. It was all ad-lib. Oh boy. Let's see. When's your birthday, Miss Akanagasaki? I would just choose a random starting point. Takeshi, what do you... No. I wagged my finger in front of my face, then I pointed at Sora and said, Miss Akanagasaki. Professor Takeshi, I said and pointed at myself. Comprenez-vous? Oh god. That was not right, was it? That's not how you pronounce that word. But I'm not going back. We're gonna, move forward full steam ahead and forget that French ever existed. Okay? Ah, oi. Oui. rather. That one I sort of know. She nodded. Professor Takeshi. Very good, once again. When is your birthday, Miss Akanagasaki? Development of Lemmus started on September 16th, 1992. The prototype was finished in October of 2000. Actual operation of the Sora RSD system began in April 11 years later, which means that I was born on April 2nd, 2011. 2011? Oh my, what a very young student you are. Wait, you're only 6 years old? No, I'm 24. What? I'm either, like, really bad at counting, or she just dropped, like, a giant bomb on her head. Like, is it actually 2035? Because that would mess with my head. How's that? I'm not sure of the reason myself. This year and last, even 3 and 4 years ago, I've been 24. Wait, that's even weirder. Is that just, like, a fluff thing? Like, our AI is 24 years old because we said it is, or, like, is there some weird-ass shit going on here? Like, that doesn't feel right. I've been 24 since I was born. Oh, okay, never mind. It's probably just a fluff thing. That's boring. I thought we were about to have, like, huge, information bombs dropped on our head. It's like, didn't you know? Time has been flowing at quadruple speed. It's like, what? But no. Of course, it's just my programmed age. I don't actually age like humans do. So I'll always be 24 eternally, I'm afraid. I have to admit it would have been strange to hear her say I'm 41, looking the way she did. They must have predicted that such a time would come and fix her eternally at 24. Okay. I see. Then I shall accept that you are 24, Miss Akanagasaki. In that case, I think that you should learn the appropriate behavior for someone your age. She cocked her head to the side, a little bewildered. You mean that I don't seem 24 right now? Yes, that is exactly my point. Your average 24-year-old is, more, how can I say, has a bit more sparkle. What? What? What does that even mean? Sparkle? Are you saying that my face should be more shiny? Maybe? At this point, who knows what he's saying? He could just be stringing words together. I mean, it's his admission that it's ad-lib, right? Like, he's actually just pulling stuff out of his ass. No, that's not what I mean. 24 is when you start thinking about marriage. Is it now? Ah, marriage. You become friends with somebody at 24, then date for a few years, and marry around 26 or 27. Is that how it works? That's the key, marrying into moolah. What is this lecture? I'm so confused. Moolah? Does that have to do with cows? No. I guess my reference was a little dated. Listen up, you're asking too many questions. Be quiet until your teacher stops talking. Good God. So, we've learned a valuable lesson today. Not anything about love or about age or anything of that regard. What we've learned today is that Takeshi should not be trusted with any degree of superiority, or like authority, or social status, because it will go to his head in instants. And he'll make an ass of himself, but with confidence, as opposed to normally where he just makes an ass out of himself. I'll take all questions at the end, alright? Sora nodded silently. Now then, to go back to what I was saying, sparkle means it's the gleam in your eyes as you frantically search for the object of your affection. All, of course, is a preamble to getting married. That is what I am speaking of. Until 23, you choose a man who will be an appropriate boyfriend. After 24, you choose a man who will be an appropriate husband. You might think that an appropriate husband would be one who promises a bright future. And to borrow the words of the ancients, it all comes down to the 3 heights. High education, high salary, high in stature. That would be the ideal individual. You think there's really guys like that out there? If you're feeling greedy, you might also look for someone who's kind and handsome, and cares more about his family than his job. Yeah, in other words, what, you could search the whole world and never find a guy like that. Professor, you seem upset. Sorry, it's a little traumatic. Excuse me. So because of all that, the 24-year-old women can be very severe creatures. Clever and calculating. And in order to bring down her prey, she must have the social skills of a little devil. Do you understand? Alright, Takeshi, show me on the doll where they hurt you. She cocked her head.
I wanted to sigh, but I pulled myself together to make a declaration. Well, perhaps it's better if you put this theory into practice. Let us try it. Alright, Mr. Takeshi. Professor. Yes, Professor Takeshi, I will try my very best. No. That kind of talk is a no-no. Huh? Not, yes, I will try my very best, but more, devilishly, coquettishly. 1, 2, 3, go. The hell? If I can do, like, that right away, I'll kill you, you bastard. What is going on? What are these words that are appearing on my screen? No, that's all wrong. That's not devilish, that's downright demonic. That's not coquetry, that's poultry. Professor, this is a bit too difficult for me to start with. Really? Yes. Alright, then how about you start by talking not so formally? Or not speaking so formally, rather. Yes, something like that will be better. Something easier. Using the same example, yes, I will try my very best. In casual conversation, this would be, sure, I'll give it a try. Yeah, again, lost in translation. Like, pretty much entirely. I'll give the translators props for effort, but, like, it doesn't work. Sure, I'll give it a try. See, you can do it if you try. Sora's face was lit up with a smile. This is interesting. Please teach me more. Her eyes shone. This is, like, so fun. Now you try. This is, like, so fun. We did this for several hours. You did that for several hours. That's what you're telling me? What is wrong with you people? Alright, the time has come to see the fruits of your labor. Go forth, my prized pupil. Coco and Peepee were jumping up and down in the rest area. Oh god, this doesn't end well, does it? Oh, Miss Sora! Woof woof. Hey, Sora, did you find Tsugumi? Huh? Tsugumi? I haven't seen her. Anyways, Coco, don't you know any cute guys you could hook me up with? The guys at the party last week were like, such losers. Sora? I was like, I'm sick of eldest sons, man. I want something fresh. And then they wanted to go Dutch. Can you believe it? It's like total junk. Coco burst into tears. Yeah, I kind of want to do the same thing. Peepee let out a terrified roar. What's the matter? You don't like my new way of talking? Hey, what's going on? You came running. Oh, hey, it's you. I haven't heard from you for, like, forever, girl. What, are you busy like a bee or something? Yeah, again, completely lost in translation. What? What's happened to you, Sora? What are you looking all scared for? Really, how not cool. Hurry up and put an end to your work, then. You know, clubbing or something? Don't you just want to stay out all night? Yeah, this is my reaction right here. 2 ellipses. Or rather, an ellipse with 6 dots in it. This is also my reaction. 2 exclamation points and 2 question marks. That is pretty much exactly how I'm feeling right now. Takeshi, did you do this? So, due to the general outcry, Sora went back to talking like her original self. And thank God. 'Cause now I don't have to do the Valley Girl accent anymore. Several hours had passed since Sora's outburst. You, Coco, and the kid had finished their meal and moved to the rest area, where they were relaxing and letting their food digest. Okay then. I'd almost finished tidying up the kiosk. I pulled out the object I had secretly hidden behind the warmer. Actually, there had been 1 sausage left in the back of the refrigerator. There were no hot dog buns, so I stuffed the sausage into a bread roll. I slapped on ketchup and mustard and took a big bite. This is so good. My mouth filled with the juicy flavor as I bit down. Meat. Yum. Fried chicken sandwiches were good, but not every meal every single day. I hid it in the back of the kiosk and devoured the sausage. Oh, Takeshi, there you are. Surprised by Sora's voice, I choked on a piece of sausage. Sora appeared in front of me. Takeshi, are you alright? Blinking and struggling, I finally managed to swallow a chunk of meat. I swallowed the rest of the sausage in one bite to remove the evidence. I struggled to control my breathing. Sora, what is it? Not a word about what you just saw, okay? Yes, alright, I understand. But what were you doing? Were you eating something? Oh, well, if you don't know, it doesn't matter. As usual, Sora feigned ignorance. It looked like she didn't remember my love psychology lecture. It was just as well. Yes, it was. By the way, I just had a talk with Tsugumi. Oh, really? Surprised, I blinked. You were able to talk with Tsugumi? Yes, she returned to the infirmary, so I went to see her. Tsugumi was actually the one to speak first. Oh? Yes, she said she was sorry for going too far and smashing the medical equipment. Apologized? Tsugumi? Yes. I was surprised. No, I was really surprised. And then she asked me a really strange question. A strange question? What'd she ask? Well, she said, "What do you know about my past?" I didn't know what to say. And? I told her I didn't know anything. Because I didn't know anything. Oh. It was a strange question. Where's Tsugumi now? I said this, trying to restrain my sense of urgency. She nodded at my answer and went to bed. Bed? She went back to the infirmary and went to bed? Well, yes. Are you sure? Is that where she is now? Yes, probably. Probably, huh? Can you check to make sure Tsugumi isn't wandering around instead of taking it easy? I nodded, but Sora looked troubled. What's wrong? All it takes is a quick scan. Yes, well, Takeshi, I don't like to scan with the sensors unless it's an emergency. What? Seems oddly convenient. There are times when even you want to be alone, right, Takeshi? And times where you want to talk about something secret, or be alone with somebody. I mean, this doesn't prevent her from doing any of that, right? It just, lets you know where physically everyone is. But, like, realistically, you shouldn't be talking about things expecting any, like, amount of privacy when you constantly have what amount of voice recorders in your ears. And probably, like, wired through the whole facility, too. Like, you cannot actually reasonably expect privacy in this setting. I feel like that's just something they all have to come to terms with on the first day. I want to protect people's privacy. If I scan, then I know everything. Sora's smile was slightly uncomfortable. Yeah, you do. And we can't have that in our mystery now, can we? Like, that would just make things too easy for our AI with the ability to figure out where everyone is to go and figure out where everyone is. That would just be too easy. Like, Tsugumi can be down in Hymal right now and we would have no idea because Sora has this weird hang-up about privacy. I can't say I'm a huge fan. Sora's smile was slightly uncomfortable. Sora went to check on Lemma and I went to the second floor infirmary. Wait, why are you visiting her right now? Like, she already dislikes you. She has established pretty firmly that she doesn't want to talk with you. And now you're gonna go wake her up? Like, in what possible world does this end with anything other than her, like, cussing you out? I hope she's resting properly. Hey, Tsugumi, can I come in? I spoke into the intercom and opened the door. Yeah, usually when you ask if you can go into a room, you wait for a response first. Or at least you don't go in immediately. You wait for, like, a lack of response, if nothing else. The infirmary was quiet again, but I suppose tact is perhaps not Takeshi's strong point. All the smashed equipment had been tidied up. Sure enough, Tsugumi was there. Oh, you really are in bed. I don't believe it. Perhaps sensing my presence, Tsugumi opened her eyes. What, could you keep it down? Her voice was normal. Am I not supposed to be here or something? No, not at all. I was just surprised, that's all. Surprised? Yeah, surprised. You came back? Yeah, well, I had to come back from that sector. There was nowhere to go. Hey, it's not that never mind. Anyway, I'm glad you're back. Glad? Yeah, glad. Relieved? Oh, really? Tsugumi looked at me intently. As she spoke, she lay back down and slowly closed her eyes. Keep your voice down, okay? My head hurts a little. Noise makes it worse. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, you hungry? You want me to make you a sandwich? I don't think she does. Like, even if she's hungry, I don't think she wants a sandwich. I don't think anyone wants a sandwich at this point. Yes, please. Oh, well. Shows you how much I know. Oh, right, we established earlier in the story that Tsugumi's taste buds are functionally non-functional. Okay, I'll go get you one. Wait right here. I'll be back soon, okay? So don't move. I tried not to make any noise as I left. As soon as I got out of the infirmary, I sprinted to the third floor. The kiosk had been cleaned up, but I turned the fryer back on and heated up the chicken. I hurried, but worked carefully. I heated the bread and browned it slightly.
I spread on the special sauce and chose the best piece of lettuce. Hurriedly wrapping the hot sandwich, I left the kiosk. I sprinted back to the infirmary. I'd been away less than 10 minutes. She was probably sick of waiting. I punched the open button until the door opened. Sorry I took so long. I called out softly as I approached the quiet bed. I took more trouble with this than usual. It's a masterpiece. Eat it before it gets cold. Huh? Maybe she was asleep. Or she's gone again. I approached the bed, but there was no answer. Hey, Tsugumi! Tsugumi, here's your food. A delicious sandwich, get it well hot. I called softly, but there was no response. Tsugumi! Oh my god, dude. Like, there are two possibilities here. Like, either she's AFK, or AWOL. Getting my acronyms mixed up here. Either she's AWOL, or she's asleep. And, like, if she's AWOL, then shouting isn't going to accomplish anything. And if she's asleep, shouting is going to accomplish less than nothing. I tried yelling. I said, here's your food! Are you gonna eat it? Say something. Grab. I pulled back the blanket on the bed. Tsugumi wasn't there. Of course she wasn't. The bed was still slightly warm. She's gone. I told her not to move. I let out a deep sigh. I held my head in my hands. I resisted the urge to throw the sandwich against the wall. Where on earth did that stupid girl run off to? Without thinking about it, I stamped my foot. Crunch. I felt something hard under my shoe. Huh? I lifted my foot and looked down. Whatever I had stepped on was pulverized under my feet. The small pieces smelled faintly. I bent down and spread them out on my hand. Looks like nuts. Glancing under the bed, I found a rolled up sheet stuffed underneath. I pulled it out. I found a bag which had probably contained the nuts and an empty box. They looked like souvenirs bought at some shop. Were these here when we searched the place? Had Tsugumi smuggled them in? Was she eating them in secret? Wait. Okay, it was ambiguous for the last 4 sentences what kind of nuts they were talking about, because they'd just been talking about the repairs a couple scenes ago, right? Like with the nuts and bolts. So I assumed they were talking about metal nuts, but they seemed to be talking about tree nuts. No, that explanation didn't feel quite right. I thought the nuts were crushed because I had stepped on them, but there was also a large amount of powder under the bed. Someone had deliberately crushed the nuts. I pulled the box out from under the bed and glanced inside. A section of the lid had been torn off, and the box was filled with cotton, with a soft hollow in the center. It looked like the nest of some small animal. I considered the evidence. The cotton in the box and the scattered pieces of nut. Did Tsugumi have some kind of pet? It seemed like a reasonable conclusion. In that case, maybe she's gone looking for her pet. But where exactly? Couldn't ask Sora. Wait, is that why the number kept changing? Is there a ferret in the air ducts or something? Like a squirrel? That would make some amount of sense, but not that much. I haven't really been given reason to believe that there's a small mammal aboard our vessel. It's certainly not impossible. It would explain why... What would explain? It would explain... It could explain the can getting knocked over. It could explain the food going missing in the kids' routes. That, Takeshi was chalking it up to a rat, but the rat trap didn't catch anything, so they assumed it wasn't a rat. And, no one would fess up to stealing the hot dogs. So, I don't know, maybe it's a ferret. Maybe it's a squirrel. Maybe it's Maybelline. I couldn't ask Sora. I called Sora from the infirmary terminal, but she didn't appear. I looked at the map of Limu on the monitor, but couldn't detect no signs of life. Where in the vicinity would would there be a large terminal functioning? Of course, the security office. If I went there, I'd probably learn something. Wait, what is this based off of? I left the infirmary and turned left down a corridor. When I arrived at the security office, I opened the door and flew inside. Caw! There was somebody already there. Tsugumi was sitting on a chair in front of the console. She was engrossed in something and didn't notice me come in. She was doing something at the console. On the screen was a zoomed-in section of a map. A strange point of light was moving across the enlarged section of the map. The light indicated a sign of life. She hit the key. One portion of the screen changed, and the remote camera zoomed in on whatever was reacting. A living creature was visible on the monitor. Phew. Tsugumi breathed a sigh of relief. A rat. At the sound of my whisper, Tsugumi swung around. She blinked. Wait, it was actually a rat? Huh. It's a rat, isn't it? A gray rat was running along a pipe. The map showed the isolated sector on the 3rd floor. Is it that rat you're looking for? Of course not. Tsugumi was obviously flustered. I looked under your bed and I saw the box. There were nuts everywhere. She looked away. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Anyway, I wonder how the dirty rodent got here. Dirty rodent? Tsugumi's voice was suddenly hysterical. I was a little taken aback. It's not a rat? It's a Jungarian hamster. Jungarian? I think. Really? Oh, so that's what it's called, a Jungarian, huh? You're pretty knowledgeable, Tsugumi. But everyone knows what they're called. Do they? Her chest puffed out slightly. So you're looking for that rat? No! I told you it's not a rat! Sorry, not rat. Hamster. You're looking for the hamster? Tsugumi seemed to nod her head reluctantly. Wait. This is the big plot twist with Tsugumi? There's no way. There's no way this is, like, all that's going on with her character. Is that, like, she has a pet hamster. Like, that... You can't do this to me. This can't be your plot twist. There's gotta be something else going on. First of all, having a pet hamster does not explain, A, how her leg is functional, and, like, B, half her weird behavior. But, like, also, how anticlimactic is that? Like, this is the big reveal? Big reveal is one of the characters has been keeping a pet hamster? What the hell? The movement was so small I wasn't even sure if she had made it. Tsugumi looked back at the monitor. You probably traveled through some pipe. Pipe? The pipes with the electric cables or the power sockets. Oh, I see. But I guess, like, that probably accounts for our, like, weird numbers. Her finger traced the map, or at least some percent of it. Wait, does that work? Like, so going down to as low as 5 works if you don't count Sora, which I had assumed that we were, but I really hope we're not. So if there are 2 hamsters, it accounts for it. But, like, 1 hamster on its own doesn't get you all the way there, right? Because we have to account for any number between 5 and 7. And, like, 5 is possible if you don't count Sora and there's no hamsters in the building. 6 is then possible if you have 1 hamster. And then 7, you would need a second hamster. Her finger traced the map. Nobody could walk to where the hamster was. The top right of the screen showed an area underwater. It seemed like there was one room still empty. It was even farther away than the isolated area on the 3rd floor. It wasn't very clear on this map, but there was one emergency corridor in the sector. I committed Limu's map to memory. Jeez, I guess I'll just have to... I grabbed a plastic bag from the trash can and headed for the exit. Where do you think you're going? Where do you think I'm going? I'm going to go get him. Who? Funny-looking hamster. There's no way you'll make it. There's a section underwater between here and there. And no human could fit through that pipe. I ignored her and left the security office. I began to walk toward the place I had in mind. Wait! Tsugumi caught up with me and grabbed my arm. What now? If I don't get moving, Mr. Hamster's going to move to another place. How do you plan to get in there? How else? Swim. Huh? Tsugumi's hand relaxed. Still in her grip, I kept moving. Tsugumi came with me. Wait! Are you out of your mind? Yeah, this doesn't seem like a great idea. Like, it's 6 atmospheres of pressure out there. I will fuck your day up. I'm going through with this. That's the reason why I think you're stupid. If you open those floodgates, you'll be overwhelmed by the seawater. The pressure is 6 atmospheres. You don't have to worry about that. The hamster's in an area directly connected to the flooded emergency corridor. The water in that area is 1 atmosphere of pressure, so the flooded corridor should be about the same. Besides, the floodgates on either side of the corridor are firmly shut. The corridor is completely isolated from the outside seawater. The entrance on the other side is open. If I use the flooded corridor beneath the room, I can get into the next area.
why don't you go back and check the map? Wait. This seems too easy. Like, if there was such a convenient setup, then even without the hamster, you would think that they would think to check it out. Right? Especially given that there's an emergency staircase there. Right? But how far do you think it is to get to the area? 153 feet. I made sure to check it before. Yeah, but 153 feet is a long way. It'll be alright. I swam to one end and back of a 25-meter pool underwater once. I kicked out the far wall coming back, but still. Wait. Now, hold on a minute. I'm not a mathematician. But if I'm comparing the numbers like 153 and 2 times 25... Let me get my calculator out real quick. Yeah, the numbers don't check out. Like, you're gonna die, Takeshi, and nothing of value will be lost. I waved my hand to dismiss it. Tsugumi's expression hardened. You are crazy. Are you trying to kill yourself? Tsugumi breathed in sharply. I'll be alright. It's alright, I won't die. I promise I'll come back. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this for one little hamster? What else can I do? We're all in this together. Yeah, but the hamster can go through the pipes again, right? Like, the hamster will be fine. Maybe you're not one of us, but any pet you have is one of us. In Japan, people with the same goals are called friends. You're an idiot. That doesn't bother me. We've noticed. I'd rather be a cheerful idiot than some warped genius. We took A down to the 3rd floor. From there, we walked along the corridor to the isolated sector. Anyway, you may as well eat this. The fried chicken sandwich was still in my hand. I shoved it at Tsugumi. Here, before it gets cold. Tsugumi's face showed no reaction as she silently accepted the sandwich. Tsugumi slowly unwrapped the sandwich. You see, this is something that I never got. Like, why are they going to the effort of wrapping them if they're just going to eat them immediately? I guess this would make sense to, like, carrying it across the building to someone else. Okay, never mind. Take it back. Wrapping the sandwich makes sense. You win this time, Ever17. She cautiously sniffed it. Tsugumi suddenly took a huge bite. She ate it fast. The sandwich disappeared before my eyes. How was it? Good, huh? Tsugumi didn't reply, but balled up the sandwich wrapping paper and threw it back at me. And seeing how happily she ate, I didn't need words to note how she felt. I was pleased. We arrived at the pipe room. We searched the floor and opened the hatch of the manhole that led to the emergency corridor. We peered inside. A tube of about 2 feet in diameter stretched down below us. A simple ladder was fixed on one side of the tube. About 6 feet down, we could see the submerged emergency light shining. We could find no signs as we peered through the hatch that the water was backflowing. That meant the water pressure inside the corridor was balanced against the pressure around us. I wonder if there's something I can use to guide me back. Fortunately, it looked like there was a rope with a hook on it, which looked as if it were a lifeline for the maintenance crew. I decided to hold onto it when I went in. Checking that the rope was long enough, I tied it firmly to the pipe nearby. If I tied it to a hook where it came out, if I tied it to the hook when I came out, where I came out, then it should be easy to return. Alright then. I did some light stretching exercises to warm up. Wait! I should go instead. Huh? Tsugumi stared me square in the face. Don't get me wrong. I didn't purposely try to get you to do something that I knew you couldn't do. I'm not like you. I'm not stupid. You and I are different up here. Tsugumi tapped her head. I'm going. What's your problem? I can't believe you're being like that at a time like this. It's not a nice thing to say. I'll be fine. You go back to the security office. Also, what's up with your leg, lady? Like, isn't your ankle still supposed to be messed up? When I get through to the other side, you can tell me where the hamster is. We won't be able to locate him without Lemma, will we? Yeah. Yeah, is it? Why don't you use that superior intellect of yours to think of something? Unless someone who can operate Lemma stays behind, it won't work. Tsugumi laughed. Alright. I've learned from you. I'll show you what I can do with little courage and guts. Now, wait just a... She punched me. Tsugumi punched me. See you later. Tsugumi took the rope hook and went down the ladder. Before long, she disappeared from view. The rope stretched into the water. Holding my stomach, I sunk to my knees. She got me with a solid body blow and I couldn't stand up. She really hit hard. I can't believe her. I seem to remember getting punched like that by somebody wearing a mascot costume. Yeah, that was her as well, I think. Was that Tsugumi? Ugh. I was suddenly dizzy. I'd kind of forgotten about that whole mascot costume debacle. That's pretty funny. My stomach was in agony. Wait, that reminds me. Why the hell was she in the lemur costume? Like, in the first place? Like, what was she doing? Not where I'd been punched. I was suffering from a totally different pain. I reached for the pipe and tried to stand up, but my hand grasped at thin air. My vision clouded. I coughed and spat. What erupted from my mouth was the semi-liquid remains of my hot dog. Oh, that's nasty. I didn't need to know that. What the... I felt a chill as I lost consciousness. Wait, what's wrong with him? She didn't punch him that hard, did she? When I regained consciousness, I was laying half in a pool of water. Where am I? Oh, it's the pipe room. What happened to Tsugumi? In front of me, I could see the rope disappearing into the hatch. That's right, she's looking for the hamster. I have to get to the security office. Tsugumi will need navigation. You're too late. Sorry, I'll be right there. What? I've already been there and back. With a startled look on her face, Tsugumi peered out of the hatch. She pulled up the rope as she stood up and closed the hatch. I slowly got off the floor. How'd it go, Tsugumi? I found him, and he was in the corner of the room, but I couldn't catch him. I think he ran this way. Oh. I hope we could catch him. Just let me check then. What does his hamster look like? He's just a normal Jungarian. Gray color, black stripe on his back, small enough to sit in the palm of your hand. Like that? I pointed at a small rodent running along a nearby pipe. Oh. Takeshi. Grab him! What? Seeing the rodent, Tsugumi's eyes got huge. I had no idea what to say. The small furry animal noticed Tsugumi and me and froze, his eyes fixed on us. Well then. I reached out my hand. Gotcha. What, just like that? I didn't think I'd catch him so quickly. The stunned hamster lay quietly in my hand. Whoa, nice catch. Ah! No, be careful, don't squeeze him so hard. What? Tsugumi snatched the rat from my hand. She stroked it gently as if she were consoling it. Did it hurt? I'm sorry. Huh? What? Is that really a rat? I mean, what are you doing with that thing in the first place? I was taken aback. No! I keep telling you, it's a hamster. This is not a rat, it's Chami. He's a Jungarian hamster. Wait, it has a name? Wow. What an exciting time we live in. Tsugumi spat the words out. She pouted as she glared at me. Okay, he's not a rat, he's Chami. Chami? The hamster's name is Chami? I didn't say that. I never said that. Embarrassed, she bowed her head. Anyway, is that what you were looking for? She nodded silently. Okay, well, great. That was lucky, wasn't it? Anyway, we've caught him. Yeah, Takeshi, thank you, I guess. Her voice was quiet and expressionless. Ouch! She knocked me down and bolted from the room. What is with this, like, odd propensity for violence Tsugumi has? Like, she should probably cut that out. It's, like, not becoming of a member of society to just, like, punch people all the time. She was soaking wet and still clutching Chami. What is with that chick? I wanted to tell her how glad I was that she was okay. It seemed I had missed my chance. Stunned, I listened to her footsteps grow fainter. So, that's what happened. Oh, I see. Several hours had elapsed since the hunt for Chami. I'd asked Sora to come with me to the souvenir kiosk on the second floor. Isn't it great that Tsugumi found her friend? Yeah. Her friend, huh? Well, as far as Tsugumi was concerned, it was her friend. Anyway, Takeshi, weren't we gonna search this kiosk for food? Was that right? It was quiet all around. There was no one around. You, the kid, and Coco were in the conference room preparing for bed. Tsugumi was probably asleep in the infirmary. We looked pretty thoroughly last time and didn't find anything. But there are nuts and cookies here. I saw them right away, look. Sora pointed to the packets in the kiosk. Oh, really? There was a mountain of packets just like the one I found under the bed in the infirmary. I guess we were all half asleep when we looked last time. Well, we don't need to worry about food for the time being. We can keep eating the fried chicken sandwiches, can't we? Yeah, there are plenty. I don't know what the expiration date on them is, but there should be enough for 2 or 3 more days. Oh. Yeah. We kept talking for a while. It was an ordinary conversation with no fixed theme and nothing to do with the topic of escape. I wonder what the weather's like up there. I have no way of knowing what the situation's like up on the surface. But judging from what it's like underwater, it's quite calm. It's unlikely to get worse anytime soon. That's reassuring. Yes. Half the meaning was probably lost. I thought that perhaps this conversation could be an opportunity. I searched for the right words. Listen, Sora. I want to talk about something serious. You do too, Takeshi? Actually, so do I. Really? Okay, after you. Ladies first. Wow, what a cop-out. Don't be a bitch, Takeshi. No, Takeshi, you go first. To tell you the truth, I'm a little embarrassed. So am I. Oh, just get it out with it already. Same time, apparently. Is the correct choice. Then let's both speak at the same time. Alright. Okay then. Together. 3, 2, 1, go. It's about the lecture today. It's about the lecture today. Wait, it is? I'm so confused. Ah, I had spoken a moment sooner. Well, okay. Love psychology. Sora's cheeks were bright red. Wait, you paid attention to that? I definitely just tuned him out about 2 sentences in. I'm like, okay, Takeshi's saying dumb stuff again. I guess I don't have to pay attention. I guess, of all the things they put in the AI, a bullshit detector was not high on the list of priorities. And on that day, science died. Ah, yes, that. I was probably a little red, too. We reflected on the glass of the kiosk. Sora twinkled as she spoke. I wanted to speak about the lecture. Coco was afraid of me, and you seemed mad about something. Yeah, you're right. But what you said wasn't wrong. At least I don't think so. You don't? Neither do I. I mean, you're the one who said it. I think my examples may have been a little extreme, but I think my basic message was right. What was your basic message? I think it got lost under the, rain of bullshit. Yeah? Yeah. Professor, I would like you to finish the lecture. Teach me everything. Teach me what I don't know. Alright then, Miss Akanagasaki. The lecture resumed. But what if the lecture didn't resume? What if the lecture never resumed? What if we just didn't do this anymore? What if we went back to, like, having reasonable characters doing reasonable things instead of Professor Takeshi spouting bullshit? Like, what a beautiful world that would be. But unfortunately, it's not the world we live in. After our study, she was the only one participating in my lecture. No one else was listening. It was a lecture for one-on-one. Alright then, Sora, we're gonna get back to the basics. I played it up a little. Professor, I have a question. What is it? You weren't acting like this earlier today. I pretended to clear my throat. The professor is practicing speaking like a professor. Let's not worry about how to talk. The way you're talking is fine. There are gentlemen who prefer gentle voices. I went into the kiosk alone. Inside the kiosk, which had not been used since the second flood, was strewn with colorful stationery and merchandise. Professor, what should I do? Just stand there. Alright. Sora was waiting just outside the kiosk. I jumped over the counter. I brushed aside the stuff that was lying around and went over to the window. Alright then, Sora. Yes, what is it, Professor? Come a little closer. From inside the kiosk, I beckoned to Sora. Sora approached the glass. She stopped about a yard away. Takeshi, if I go any closer, the RSD image will... Don't be so unromantic, you'll spoil the mood. But I'll probably start to look flat. Embarrassed, she bowed her head. It's alright, it doesn't matter. Repeat after me. It's alright. It's alright. Blushing furiously, Sora timidly approached the window. Slowly, one step at a time. That's it. Before long, Sora and I faced each other through the thin sheet of glass. Here I am. Do I look strange, Professor? Don't worry. I told you it was alright, didn't I? Her image was warped a little, but it was nothing serious. Alright then, practice. I'm a little nervous. Well, don't let me make you nervous. Relax, relax. Okay, repeat. Relax, relax. In my hand, I picked up a marker pen that I picked up off the floor. It was a red water-based pen. Alright then. You know, I thought you were a traditional Japanese girl. Really? Pure and sincere. Lovely. But I felt that as a 24-year-old you were lacking a little something. What? Color. The look of a grown woman. Sora was standing on the other side of the spotless glass. Good God, Takeshi, what is wrong with you? Were you dropped on your head as a child? Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I was dropped on my head as a child. Perhaps Takeshi is actually a genius and I'm just a dunce for not being able to appreciate his revolutionary ways. God, what a horrifying world that would be. I took the cap off the pen and traced that line of Sora's lips. The fastest way to give you color is with makeup. With conservative makeup like yours, you won't even attract doctors or lawyers. Your makeup has to be more feminine. Professor, I don't understand what you mean. A picture's worth 1,000 words. I carefully drew her lipstick. That tickles. Does it? He's like not even drawing on you, right? He's drawing on the glass? Oh, I see. She's like overlapping with the glass. That makes sense. Still doesn't make sense that it would tickle, but, you know. Stand still. This is difficult. I'm not moving. Maybe my hand wasn't used to the angle. Anyway, it was shaking a little. I drew her eyeline, gave her mascara and rouge, and colored in her eyebrows. Alright, you're done. Finished. What a work of art. If I would give it a title, I'd call it... Yes, I'd call it... Butterfly of the Night. You horrify me, Takeshi. You're everything that's wrong with the world. Professor... Is this feminine makeup? Well... Not quite. Huh? It's actually... over the top. Really over the top. It was a complete failure. It looked like a child scribbling. I've never looked like this. This is a change. I've never seen anything, you like this. I think I like it. I wouldn't be so sure about that. You really think so? What, you don't like it? I didn't think you would. What do you mean? Miss Akanagasaki? Ah! It's all wrong! I tried to rub the lipstick off with my hand, but it wouldn't come off. The more I tried to wipe it off, the more the lipstick spread in her face. Professor, is this feminine makeup? All around Sora's mouth was stained red. Miss Akanagasaki, not exactly. Without meaning to, I laughed. Professor? I'm sorry, but it's certainly a change. I was apologizing, but I couldn't stop laughing. Oh, Professor, stop playing with my face. Then Sora started to laugh as well. We both collapsed laughing. The sound of our laughter filled the silence of the nighttime kiosk. It had been ages since I had laughed like that. And after we laughed for a while, Sora moved over to the next window. Please do it properly this time. Sora's face became serious. Alright, okay then. Alright, this time I promise you perfect feminine beauty. I picked up the pen again and faced the glass. I faced it, but what's wrong? Nothing. I didn't draw anything with the pen. I stared deep into Sora's eyes through the glass. Takeshi? Her glossy lips were forming my name. Let's not do this. Huh? You don't need makeup. You don't need makeup, Sora. You're already beautiful. Good God. Professor, don't tease me. I'm not teasing you, I mean it. Don't say that, Professor. I could see Sora blushing. If you say that, Professor, I'll start to take you seriously. She bowed her head, her eyes searching around. No more playing teacher. Professor? Takeshi? Sora slowly raised her head and looked me in the eyes. Sora, your hands. Put your hands there. I put my hands against the glass. Sora placed her hands where mine were. Right against left, left against right. Separated only by a pane of glass, our hands were touching. It felt strange. What should be a barrier between us was actually the only thing joining us. Without something between us, we couldn't touch. But on either side of the glass, we were able to confirm the existence of the other. It felt as if my hands were touching Sora's body.
Sora's face was there in front of me, mere inches from me. We were so close I could hear her breathing. I thought that I could probably even take her in my arms. But you can't, because she's a hologram. Takeshi, may I ask you something?
Go ahead.
I feel warm. I feel really warm. From my fingers, and in my heart. What's happening? Why do you think...
I couldn't answer. Sora's eyes glistened with tears as she stared at me. The glass in the window was shaking. Sora's warmth spread to my hand. But it was just an illusion. If I closed my eyes, Sora disappeared. But in my hand I could feel the warmth like sunshine. Even if the warmth was just an illusion, Sora existed then and there. Of that I was certain. Darkness spread out before my eyes. Without limit it spread. Nothingness. The void was endless. And I was in the middle of it. I could find nothing by which to judge distance. I searched for light, but couldn't even see the movement of my body. There was nothing below my feet. Nothing held me up. And so I fell. I fell. Deeper and deeper I sank into the void. Further and further. No, that wasn't it. It seemed to me, rather, that the darkness was coming towards me. It approached me at a terrifying speed, but there was no sound. Yet it was creeping closer and closer. And finally it penetrated me. There was no way for me to shake it off. It seeped completely into me. It was strange, but there was no feel to it. The blackness invaded and settled inside me. It overtook me, never to part again. Ah, I'm becoming the darkness. The darkness is becoming me. My body becoming the darkness itself. The void was endless, but it had no ceiling. Nothing existed to cover it. It was an abyss. Everything was buried in the pitch black, and the dark of night was crushing me. That is how everyone dies. I was dying. I was dead. Death. When I awoke, my shirt was soaked with sweat. That's a depressing dream. Then everything went black, and then I died. What an awful way to start the day. And what a fantastic way to close it. That's it for me. Catch y'all tomorrow.